So in this first video, we're going to take a look at adding the ones mentally by using the add the ones strategy. So as an adult, the way I was taught, if I would do 14 plus 7, I would kind of do it this way, either on paper or in my head. I would say 14 and 7 ones, that's 4 ones plus 7 ones is 11 ones. Write my 1, carry my 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, which is 21. And carrying the 1, especially when my numbers get bigger than 14 and 7, carrying mentally and borrowing mentally can be really tricky things for kids to do. And there's another very mathematically sound way that I can manipulate these numbers by splitting them into easier parts. And to get a successful answer as well. And that's what you'll see here. The big selling point here with the kids and the entire mental math strategy could be summed up by saying tens are easy, hundreds are easy, numbers in the ones like 4. These are easy things to do. Ask your kid, can you add 10 to a number? Can you add 4 to a number in your head? Yes, absolutely. Can you add 14? Well, then we're kind of getting a little bit tricky. So what we do is we break the number 14 into 4 and 10. And adding 4 and then adding 10 is the same as adding 14. So I'm just going to kind of break it up into 2 parts. And this can be seen really well, I think, by when we use our base 10 blocks. So here I have the number 14. That's 1 10 and 4 ones. And here I have 7 ones. And what I'm going to do when I do 14 plus 7 is I'm going to group my 14 into 10s and 1s. And I will say 14 is 4 ones and 1 10. This is 14. And when I add my ones, I'm going to say, well, here's my 7 and my 4, and that makes 11. And then my 10 and my 11 make 21. And this, I think, is how I would write that. And this, I think, is where parents really kind of get tripped up. They see their kids filling in the blanks, doing 14 plus 7 on their homework, and it says blank plus blank equals blank, blank plus blank equals blank, and we're like, why are we making this more complicated? Really, we're making the kids write this out for a very short time to make sure they understand where these numbers are coming from, but ultimately, we're trying to facilitate what would be happening in their head. They can think about it in a number bond. They can think about it with place 10 blocks. But really, we're trying to just get them to do this in their head. So we say 14 plus 7. Well, 4 ones plus 7 ones is 11 ones. 10 plus 11 is 21. So the answer is 21. Let's take a look at one more example. If you want to pause the video quick and see if you can solve this one, either in your head or specifically as a parent to help your kid, can you fill in what goes in these blanks? I need something plus something equals something, something plus something equals something. There are a lot of good ways I could fill in these blanks, but what would help me solve 17 plus 8 in my head instead of stacking the numbers and mentally kind of carrying them? Well, here's how we'd do it in Singapore math. We'd say 17, the easiest thing I could do is break that up into 10 and 7 because, again, 10s are easy. Adding 7's not too bad. Adding 10 is super easy, so I'm going to do it in 2 steps instead of carrying my 1s. So I'll say, here's my 17, here is my 8, and if I add 8 and 7, I'm going to get 15. Can't forget about my 10, toss it in there. 10 and 15 is 25. So 17 plus 8 is 25. And the way I'd write that out is to say 7 plus 8 is 15. That was my first step. Then I can't forget about this 10. 10 plus that 15 is 25.